With reality TV all the rage, gone are the days of gathering around the radio with the family for a night of entertainment. Helping to bring that back is Joanie Sigal, Artistic Director with Golden Age Theater, Tampa Bay. Good to have you here, Joanie.
Thank you.
Tell us about Golden Age Theater.
Well, the Golden Age Theater was actually started about 8 or 9 years ago in Los Angeles, and then we formed it here last April. And what we do is dramatic readings of stories that L. Ron Hubbard wrote in the 30s and 40s. He covered so many different genres: westerns, fantasy, sci-fi.
See, all I think of is sci-fi when I hear his name.
Exactly. A lot of people don't know he's known for quite a few westerns. And he also was himself a barnstorming pilot, so he wrote stories about that. He wrote stories about war in the East, and they're very short. Like, the performances take about 35 to 40 minutes, and they're very entertaining.
So it's sort of in the style of what we used to listen to on the radio?
Exactly. It's in that style, except you can see the actors. We have minimal costumes, very minimal props, and not so much action, but we have sound effects. If it's horses, you'll hear the horses running in the background. You'll hear the guns shooting and the windows breaking. But the actors are reading. You know, so they're reading and they're going directly into a microphone, just like on the radio.
As an actor, how is this different for you? Because you've done Cinderella, you've done West Side Story, now you're standing in front of a microphone doing something a little bit, well, quite different, actually.
Well, it is different, but it's the same basics. You know, I'm basically communicating a story to an audience, similar to how I would tell you about it, except I tell it to a bigger group. But it's fun. We're having a great time. We've also been in a local high school. We're bringing these readings to kids.
Can kids relate?
Absolutely. Absolutely they relate, and they love it. I've watched them be kind of noisy when we start, and then they really get into it because the stories are so entertaining. We did one about a cowboy who pretends to be a knight because his girlfriend tells him he needs to be more romantic. Oh. So he puts a bucket on his head, and the kids loved it. Absolutely loved it. How
do you get into the whole dialect? It's got to be different when you're dealing with stuff that was written way back.
It's not too bad. These stories were written for the common man because they were printed in magazines on very cheap paper called pulp. Hence the term pulp fiction.
Is that where that started?
Yes, ma'am.
I learn something new every day.
There you go. That's where they came from. And of course, it was a huge form of entertainment in the 30s. You didn't have, you know, the technical effects that we have today in movies. You didn't have television, so it was either listening to the radio or reading stories.
So is this what Golden Age Theater is going to keep doing, these short little plays?
Absolutely. That's what we're going to keep doing. We want to get into more schools. We're going to be going to Maine in March to do some performances up there. We have performed in bookstores, and we definitely want to get into more schools because these stories kind of inspire kids to read more. And we want kids to read more. And these books come with also audiobooks that follow the books exactly. So if you have someone who's having difficulty reading, they can listen and read at the same time. And they really hold the interest of young people, too.
How big is the collection that you have to choose from?
He wrote 150 stories.
Oh, my.
In the 30s and 40s.
So you've got a few years ahead.
Yes, ma'am.
You could do a different one for a long, long time. So, but basically, can we see it here in the Tampa Bay area as well?
You can. Our next performance will be at the Fort Harrison on April 14th. And we will be doing a Western.
So do you do a series of Westerns or just one? So am I just expecting a night of maybe an hour and then I'm in and out?
That's it? Exactly. We'll have some music. We'll have Western-style refreshments, some music, and the audience usually gets up and dances. Then we'll do our show. It's about 35 minutes, and then you're out.
I like that. Very interactive, too.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Joanie Sigal. There, I got it. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right, coming up on Daytime, you don't have to take me away to Margaritaville. The margaritas are coming to us. You want to stick around for that, okay?
Yes.